Hi everyone, it's David from Automotive Press. As you guys know, I really like gasoline car or ICE, internal combustion engine vehicles. So for me to actually like an electric car, that says a lot, which is the case with the 2025 BMW i4, all refreshed for 2025. But there are also some really interesting facts that you should know, which makes the i4 outstanding compared to other electric cars. And I'm not saying that just because it's a BMW or because it's a refreshed vehicle. I'm saying it based on my actual experience and also checking the quality and so forth. So let me give you 7 reasons why you might want to consider buying the 2025 BMW i4. Let's go. Welcome back. So why do I like this BMW i4 refresh for 2025? Well, the first reason is the fact that this won 2 really important prestigious awards. One is from this year, which is for 2025 Canadian Electric Car of the Year, and he won the award from AJAC, which stands for Automobile Journalists Association of Canada. I'm a vice president at AJAC, and also I'm one of the jurors, and we ranked this car really high to the point where it beat out all the other electric cars in that category. So that is one really important prestigious award. But also in 2023, the prior version of this i4, which is almost the same as this one, won the Canadian Car of the Year, which is also a big deal because none of us expected an electric car to win that award in 2023. So this won 2 very important awards, and that matters a lot because the AJAC Car of the Year event or Car of the Year program is quite detailed and extremely meticulous, and to win that award means a lot, at least for me, and perhaps it should mean something to you as well. The second reason why I like the i4 is the fact that this is one of the very few electric cars that actually drives like a normal gasoline powered vehicle. And of course, BMW, being very clever and smart about this, designed the i4 to appeal to those people who are migrating from gasoline car to electric cars. So they want to make sure that the feel is kind of similar, and I can attest to that after driving this for a couple of days now. In terms of steering feel, the ride, the basic characteristic of a driving, it feels exactly like their regular BMW 3 or 4 Series, except it's fully electric, and of course there are some differences. But I'm surprised how closely this i4 mimics a gasoline-powered Grand Coupe that BMW has. So I think that's a very clever thing they've done. Makes it easier for people to migrate from gas to electric, and BMW does it better than anyone else. And the third point is related to the second point, which is the fact that this actually really do feel like a normal BMW. Not just feels like a gasoline car, but this one mimics all of the characteristics of a normal BMW. So that means I have a really good steering feedback. It has a pretty good weight to it, kind of feels pretty hefty, accurate steering. The ride is comfortable and predictable and balanced, not too firm, not too soft, just the right balance actually. So suspension tuning is excellent. And even though there's a little bit of numbness to the steering because it's an electric car and there's only so much they can do, everything else really feels like a real BMW. Even the brakes are really solid and have just the right amount of the pressure. So overall, if you're just driving this car and you go and drive a 4 Series, you might think, oh, actually, they feel exactly the same in many ways. So the fourth reason is the fact that they were able to maintain and retain a BMW feel, which is really important for that brand. And that will continue to keep the BMW loyalists happy, but also potentially bring new buyers to BMW because they can say, hey, I'm moving to electric cars, but still feels like a gasoline car and has maintained a lot of the BMW feel. The fourth reason is something I'm going to actually show you right now, which is what I always do, and that is to do with the manufacturing quality. This i4 is built in Munich, Germany, which is the headquarters for BMW. I've been to the BMW factory and head office in Munich about 12 or 13 times in the last 5 or 6 years, so I'm quite familiar with the factory. It's definitely the best BMW factory, and it shows in this i4 because the gaps are actually shockingly good, and you might not believe it until I show you the actual number, but this is actually 2.9 millimeter, 2.9, and it's perfect alignment, nothing out of alignment. In fact, I would say it's actually better than some of the Lexus models I've been measuring recently. This is 3 millimeters there, 2.9, and then 3 millimeters. And again, everything lines up, nothing is out of alignment. The actual fit and finish of the plastic materials and everything looks really good. The color is well matched. I mean, if I didn't know any better, I would have said that this was something that would be built in Tahara factory from Lexus in Japan. because the quality is near perfect. The paint quality is also amazingly good. This one is a new Cape York green color, which is a really beautiful color. I don't really know how BMW comes up with these weird names though, but the color is beautiful. Now let me measure the paint thickness and see how thick the paint is. So now let's measure the paint thickness to see how good it is on this Munich built BMW i4. 122 microns. Again, in case you forgot, you want the paint thickness to be between 100 to 150 microns. Thicker the better in terms of durability, although paint thickness doesn't indicate the quality of the paint, just the durability. 118 over there. It's a little bit wet, so it could be a little bit off in terms of reading, but let's hope that it's pretty accurate. 117 there, and last one here by the second door, 111 microns. So it's pretty well normal. I think most Lexus and Toyota products are also between 100 to 150 microns. So thickness is pretty normal, but I do like the paint job, not just because it's a beautiful color, but paint matching and so forth is really good. A little bit off between the bumper and this one. You can kind of tell depending on the angle you look at. But generally speaking, the parts fit and the quality of the components are really good. The plastic parts are also looking good, and most of all, I really like the fact that everything lines up and the body panels looks really good, and you can tell right here the plastic composite materials with the metal matches really well. So overall quality is as good as what I see from cars being built in Tara factory from Lexus, which says a lot. That's another reason why I like this i4. And what is the fifth point? Well, all these talks about how the car feels on the road is important, but it wouldn't matter too much if the car has a poor range. Well, thankfully, BMW has done a really good job of engineering the i4 to give you maximum range, up to 512 kilometers of range, depending on which model you buy. And that is substantially better than, let's say, a Lexus RZ or RZ that we own, and actually better than many other cars as well in this price range. So they've done a good job of making sure that it's efficient, that it charges quickly, it has sufficient range to please most buyers, and that again will make it easier for people to transition from gas car to electric car. And that's very important for BMW, because right now there's less and less demand and interest in electric cars, and they have to do everything possible to make electric cars as attractive as possible. And I think they've hit the nail on this one, because it feels like a BMW, it feels like a gasoline car, and it's very efficient with a really good range and a fast charging capability. The sixth reason is the fact that 2025 version of the i4 has gone through many changes. It's not all new, but they made a fair amount of changes in terms of the front design, the front grille. Some of the plastic components have changed as well. The metal parts haven't changed, but things like wheel design also changed. Not much changed in the back, a little bit, but also inside they have a larger and improved infotainment system, including updated software. So the whole thing does feel a little bit more upscale. I think that's the most important thing. And as you know, I've spoken about the driving experience already, but the driving character is also different in the sense that it just feels a little bit tighter, it feels a little bit more refined and a little bit more comfortable, and the whole thing feels a little bit more upscale than 2024. The seventh and the final reason is something I mentioned already. This BMW i4 is built in Munich, Germany. It's the best factory that they have. It is also the head office. I've been there many times. I watched the factory where these cars are being built, and their process are actually quite clever and actually really advanced. A little bit different from Lexus and Toyota approach, but in terms of overall quality, as I measured earlier, it's right up there with some of the best from Lexus. So I really like the manufacturing quality. I like the fact that it's built in Munich and not somewhere else. Also important to note that because this is built in Germany, it's kind of a neutral zone in terms of tariffs, because if you live in the US or Canada or Mexico or elsewhere, the potential impact of having tariffs could raise the price. But the fact that this is built in Germany, for right now anyway, there are no tariffs being planned. So whether you live in Mexico, Canada, or US, right now there shouldn't be any tariffs coming from Germany. And that could be an advantage, because otherwise the price could go up. So that's the last point to keep in mind. Overall, I love the i4. If I have to buy an electric car that looks like this, because it's a Grand Touring coupe design, and something that feels like a gasoline car, something that still feels very BMW-ish with a very reasonable price, but this is surprisingly affordable, this is the best one I will buy. I think I'll buy this over all the other models I've driven this year in terms of electric cars. It's got the right nameplate, it's got the right quality, and it's got the right performance. What do you guys think of the BMW i4? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I would appreciate it if you can give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so yet, would you kindly subscribe as well. Until next video, I'm signing off for now. Thank you so much.